We've got the management, Puneet Goenka, MD and CEO of Zee Entertainment. We've also got Uday Shankar, the COO of Star India. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining us on the show. Mr. Goenka, if I can start off with you, it's been about 12 years and now two of the biggest media distribution companies in India have clearly announced that they are joining hands. Can you share with us the specific details of how this will really benefit both companies?
Yes, sure. To start with, this is a joint venture formed between Zee and Star. These two entities are the distribution arms of our respective companies, and we will together now distribute all the channels under the Zee umbrella as well as the Star umbrella. It's going to be a total number of 68 channels that we will start with, and any new channels that we launch in the non-sports area will be distributed through this entity.
Okay, so this is largely through the non-sports area, but in terms of market share, how much are you targeting by this alliance with Star?
Well, it's difficult to say that, what kind of market share we are targeting. Our endeavor is, this joint venture is more strategic. Our expectation and our strategy is to work on two critical areas of development in this industry. First being to curb piracy, which in itself will help us to grow our business. And second, to speeden up the process of digitization, which is also the government's agenda in the coming days.
Also, in terms of the investment outlay for this joint venture, we do know that in terms of cable distribution business, you are targeting a revenue of about 3,000 crore rupees. In terms of an investment outlay, what are your targets?
Well, as far as investment goes, I don't think this venture requires anything more than what we would be spending individually. So therefore, it's not as if we are going to spend any exorbitant money out of our kitties to further grow this business. Correct, Uday?
Correct.
Right, Mr. Uday Shankar, let me take a question to you because, of course, you do have smaller operators and competition really crying foul due to this joint venture. Do you think in terms of competition, this joint venture will really outdo a lot of the other cable operators? And do you think this is something that probably the Competition Commission could also look into?
I'm not sure there is any case here for the Competition Commission, Shivani, because first and foremost, this doesn't materially impact the cable operator or their business, because as my friend Puneet just said, that our strategic objectives are very, very clearly focused in two areas. One is to make sure that we contribute towards, building a digital delivery network in this country, and the second thing is that we focus in a very, very targeted manner against the piracy of television signal, because these are the two huge limitations that are sort of stifling the growth of television content and television business in this country, because the number of channels that are there today are not able to do justice to the needs of the diverse needs of this country. And that number, whether it is local channels, more regional channels, more niche channels in areas like healthcare and everything else, are not able to come up because the current distribution pipeline just doesn't support them. And our objective would be to work towards catalyzing that whole process. That's something that's topmost on the agenda of the government and the regulator, and we hope to work towards that. And the second thing is huge amounts of intellectual piracy of the television signal that goes on, because the households are paying money religiously every month to the service provider, and the service providers are not letting that flow through in a legitimate manner to the value chain. There is huge erosion, there is huge leakage of tax to the government. The MSO business model has gone completely bust, and the broadcasters are not able to get a fair share of this subscription income. And our effort would be to work with the MSOs, the government, the regulator, and the cable operators to make sure that there is a reasonable flow through of that revenue.
Right, Uday, of course you mentioned that distribution is a big concern for the industry right now. So have other media companies essentially sought to induct their channels as well on your joint venture platform?
It's too soon to say that. We haven't been approached by anybody, but both Zee and Star have friendly relations towards with everybody else, and we think that since the objectives are shared by a lot of people, we would be in principle be willing to work with anybody and everybody. but no one has approached us. And for us also, the venture is new. Our biggest challenge is to make sure that it takes off well, and there's close integration of Zee Turner and Star, and hence getting new people in is clearly not the topmost item on the agenda at the moment. That said, we are open to anybody and everybody.
Right, Mr. Goenka, let me bring it back to you in terms of your current subscription revenue. That's around 800 crore rupees right now. How will this potentially grow post your joint venture?
We don't expect this to change overnight. As Uday was just talking about, the strategic alliance is a long-term alliance. It's nothing to expect any returns will come in the short term. But definitely, if we are able to achieve our objectives in the objectives that we've laid out, definitely this number will grow very rapidly. At least it will grow much faster than that we have been growing individually for ourselves.
Right, in terms of selling a stake in this joint venture, are you looking at any sort of foreign partnership also? We of course did also have news just 2 days back saying that the government is also looking at increasing the FDI limit in the general entertainment channel space, as well as radio frequencies and other media channels.
Well, general entertainment business overall is actually 100% FDI compliant even today. I think what you're referring to is the DTH sector, which the government is talking about increasing the FDI stake in. But coming back to your main question, no, we are not looking at getting any other partners in the equity of this business. This will be solely owned by Zee Turner and Star.
All right, in terms of carriage charges, Mr. Goenka, will that really come down post the joint venture? And if yes, by how much?
Again, as I said earlier, the objectives are not for us that we want to increase our revenue. Those are ultimate objectives, or bringing carriage fee down. They are ultimate objectives. But as you know, once digitization takes place, these things are bound to happen. Carriage fee will come down as and when the digitization of this country increases. For example, if you look at the current penetration of DTH itself, with over 30 million households having DTH penetration, the carriage fee is minuscule. It's only applicable to some key, a few free-to-air channels. The pay channels pay no carriage fee. Our revenue share is what the carriage fee is all about. So therefore, yes, I do expect it to come down in the long term.
Right. Mr. Uday, if I can take the next question to you in terms of the plan really of the joint venture. Right now it stands at a distribution tie-up, but would the two groups look at launching new channels together in the future?
Well, as far as the market share for viewership is concerned, the two groups compete very vigorously for market share, and I don't think that's likely to change. We will continue to be aggressive competitors for market share. It is this one area where there is a crying need for some strategic change, and that's why we decided to come together. But I don't see the competition for eyeballs getting softened because of this coming together at all.
Right, Uday, also in terms of revenues really post this joint venture, can you run us through the cable distribution business revenues that you are targeting?
As a policy, Star Group doesn't discuss the financials, so you'll have to excuse me from that. But as Puneet was just saying, that we don't see any immediate uplift of the revenues because of this joint venture, because the challenges are a lot deeper and long term, and our objective would be to remove those challenges or find a way around that. And once that happens, then we see a revenue uplift, not just for this new venture of ours, but for the whole sector, broadcasting, and for the MSOs who are completely broke at the moment because they are not able to participate at all in the ground connection. So the MSOs source of income is limited to carriage fees, and we would like that to change, because one, it is having a very inflationary effect on carriage fees, because that's the only way the MSO can survive, and it is causing huge amounts of leakage of of the ground connections. And our objective would be to plug that in. Once that happens, I think there would be a more equitable sharing across the value chain, and not just Zee and Star, but all broadcasters should benefit, and especially the younger and smaller broadcasters.
Right. So, Mr. Goenka, if I can take that question of revenues and specific to you post this joint venture, what are your revenues in terms of the cable distribution business?
You know, we don't split it out actually, but our cable business currently contributes to about 30% of our total subscription income. As you know, our subscription income, as reported, does have a component of international subscription also built into it. So therefore, yeah, about 30% does come from analog cable.